Merry Christmas, everybody. I am Vanessa Williams, and welcome back to A Very Special Christmas, 25 years of bringing joy to the world. In 1987, A Very Special Christmas became a seasonal smash, surprising even those who helped make this uplifting success story possible. And since this was a success story that happened in and around Hollywood, it didn't take too long before there was talk of a sequel.
We never thought it would turn into many records. I mean, there were times where we didn't think that the first record would get made. And then when it sold so crazily and strong, we all looked at each other and go, you know, we may have to do another one of those.
I was a part of the first album in '87, and it was very, very successful. You know, a lot of big artists gave their time and efforts to a Christmas song to help out the Olympics. And now, 5 years later, it's raised $17 million.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year!
And that $17 million have been a big help in funding the program to inner cities and in places in countries that it hadn't reached prior to that first album. When we went to Minneapolis for the Olympics this year, I think there were 7,000 athletes participating, 106 countries. So the album got its point across.
It was 5 years ago, was the first record, and we just decided that, you know, it was time to do another record because we loved the first one so much, and, you know, a lot of things have changed since then, a lot of things have gone on, and, you know, it was about time to go back to the well and try to do it one more time. Because we had done it once before, you know, we said, let's try to do something a little different. He said, where should we start? Let's start in an R&B, gospel, singer-oriented record.
Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop. Mistletoe hung where you can see every couple tries to stop.
What you have here is you have bulletproof material, first of all. And when you have that, you can really do a lot. Great artists do great things with great songs.
You will get a sentimental feeling.
Ronnie Spector and Darlene Love, to me, was one of the great moments of both albums. The first album, I didn't have the guts to put them on it. And the second album, I said, hey, you know, what the hell, you know, let's just go do it.
You and me.
I vividly remember Jimmy being very excited that Darlene was doing the song because Darlene had been on Phil Spector's Christmas album, which was the most famous Christmas album ever done in rock and roll, and her voice was so big. I mean, it was like Whitney's voice.
Jimmy called Ronnie and she suggested bringing us two together to do something that we have never done before, actually singing a duet together. And, you know, all the people that's going to be involved just doing the music just for our song, it's like family time. So it's really, you know, it's going to really be exciting.
I asked Johnny Bon Jovi to play guitar on Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree because Johnny comes from that tradition. Catholic Italian, New Jersey, he knows that song. And he came and he loves Ronnie and Darlene, you know, we all do, growing up like that. And it was good to have him there. Great spirit.
What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight.
I love Randy Travis's voice, but there were people who expressed a concern that maybe, well, you know, that's not really rock and roll. That's pretty much country. And the rest of us just said, are you kidding?
What a bright time, it's the right time to rock the night away.
His voice just vibrates on my spine. It was so incredible. And I think the song really stands up.
You go riding in a one-horse sleigh.
These are some totally happening people on this record. It's an honor to be on the same record with them. Track by track, it's kind of like a variety show.
Tom Petty, Randy Travis, Luther, Frank Sinatra, and Cyndi Lauper, Boyz II Men, Aretha, Ronnie Spector, Bon Jovi. Wow, I just got hot reading those names.
You get every kind of walk of musician, but it's a chance for each of the artists involved, I think, to slip out of their, quote, persona, you know, their media persona.
What we try to do is to have people do things that they wouldn't normally do and allow them the freedom to do something they didn't do before.
What child is this who lay to rest?
I do hope people see that I can do more than one thing as opposed to just singing dance tunes. It was fun getting behind the mic and doing each take because I enjoyed what I was doing and it was a labor of love.
Joy, joy, for Christ is born.
I met Vanessa Williams through my pal Herb Ritz, the great photographer, and he had become kind of almost a co-producer of these records because whenever he would photograph a musician, he would call up and go, hey, I'm going to photograph this musician. Do you want them for the record? He made a video of Vanessa singing, which she recorded when she was pregnant, and looked, not that she has any trouble looking amazing, but she looked amazing. I think she was, I can't remember, 7 or 8 months pregnant.
1, 2.
Tom Petty came about on a Very Special Christmas too because he's an old friend of mine. We worked together on some great albums. And I called him, and I know one thing about Tom. He has the greatest sense of humor.
Well, it's Christmas time again.
You cannot have a better sense of humor than Tom Petty. When he said to me, I'll write my own song, I said, okay, if anybody can write a Christmas song, he can, and he did.
And right down the block, little kids start to rock. Christmas is a rockin' time.
I remember Tom's record being so funny. And I remember that he gave the publishing to the Special Olympics, which was, quite amazing. It was, I don't know, $60,000, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year. He would just send the check over. He was a really classy fellow.
After we did Christmas in Hollis, then we got called again to do Very Special Christmas 2. Now, that was a big problem. You know why it was a big problem? Because there was no way in the world, it's possible, but there was no way in the world we was going to beat Christmas in Hollis. So I think we had to take a different approach.
Yo, man.
Christmas in Hollis was a record that everybody universally could relate to. So when we did Christmas Is, we thought we had to take an approach where, we know everybody's Christmases ain't present-filled, but it should be a time of hope.
Christmas is good for some of us, but not for all of us. So we want everybody to just think on Christmas this time, and give to the needy.
We're blowing in the ghetto, they get nothing. No toys for little boys, no curls for girls, a turkey stuffing. They laugh, they know that half the peasants ain't thick. You might just want to ask her with my presents ain't Nick.
We coming at this Christmas song talking about the people in the ghetto that don't have it that good for Christmas, you know what I'm saying?
Christmas is more than just getting presents and opening presents and stuff like that. It's a bigger meaning to Christmas.
So have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
This album is right up there in the higher echelons of music made for a purpose. That proves that the most powerful voices in music can serve a purpose to be the mouthpiece for the people.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
Getting the hottest bands in the world to do a Christmas song, that's still pretty an amazing thing to do, especially in today's climate of music. That's pretty amazing to still do that every year.
No doubt we're great. First of all, their song is great. It's a sort of a punk record with a great lyric in it. I love that song. And they made a video, and they made the video, if you can believe it, entirely at their own expense in, I think, India, a morning they were off.
A friend of ours band, Vandals, actually, from Orange County, they did a Christmas record of all their homemade Christmas songs, and we did a copy of some of the songs called Boy to the World, which is a really kind of song about unity, but it has a sense of humor to it. So. Basically Usually all the girls that buy the record are gonna buy it because Sting is on it.
I saw 3 ships come sailing in on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. I saw 3 ships come sailing in on Christmas Day in the morning.
It's called I Saw 3 Ships Come Sailing In on Christmas Day in the Morning. I've no idea what it's about, but it kind of intrigues me. I sang it when I was a kid.
I've now spent a long time with a lot of musicians. What they really want is to play great music. That's what they want. So this music is great, and people want to participate in great music.
I'll have a blue Christmas.
It's very, very hard to compete with Elvis's version, so we made it our own.
I'll be so blue.
We recorded it in the studio, and we did it in, I guess, July in Japan, so you couldn't get less sort of out of your element to record a Christmas song.
It's the artists that make this program, these artists that have beautiful voices and use their talents to help these special children.
Comes the time for Christmas, and I really have to ask.
It's always a challenge to write a holiday song. It's something you want to try to do well, and you want to try and represent what Christmas means to you, and that gets harder and harder to do.
I wish a one-horse open sleigh.
That's the one thing about a very special Christmas that you can count on, is that all the greats are on there. So, you know, the singers are going to be great.
Until Christmas comes my way.
We've had these extraordinary shows at the White House.
They call me Dr. Summer.
The White House was kind of a challenge.
It's Christmas time in Hollis, Queens.
President Clinton was looking at Eric Clapton, like 10 feet in front of him. Wow.